call is now first in line and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you for your patience.
All right.
Your call is now first in line and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you for your patience.
All right.
Your call is now first in line and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you. Your call is now first in line and will be answered by the next available representative. Thank you for your patience.
Thanks for calling Black Knight Design. It's start with your first and last name.
Yes, sir. My name is Etorian Hines.
Thank you. Yes, and how come you're up today?
Got a bit of I need some assistance with my switcher here. Hey, baby. I
Okay,
got
which model is this?
it's a ATEM Mini.
Okay, would this be the
Yes, sir. My name is
Pro or
Victoria
the
Hines.
base model mini?
The base model Mini.
Okay, yes, and how come you're up today?
Got a bit of so I'm connecting my T5i to it, which is a Canon model, and for some reason, like I can't get any visuals on on that on that camera, but I do have a also a Sony FX3 on one of the ports, and that one works just fine. But I can't get my Canon to pop up.
Okay, most likely, I mean, it's possible that Canon would be outputting an unsupported signal that the A10 doesn't like. Um, and it's really just a matter of kind of a few ways to go about it. I mean, of course, you can review specifications and then see kind of where that lines up. Maybe try to make some adjustments. Um, but if you can confirm a visual signal from that Sony cam, then ultimately, on all four inputs, right, then we know that we don't have that port, and it's more so just a compatible signal. Um, with the Canon camera, did you test that on all four inputs by
Yes,
chance?
yes.
Okay, I know, no luck.
Mm.
Um, roughly, how long is the HDMI cable that you're using?
Roughly about I would say about 8 or 10 feet.
Okay, and not that's not too long. Usually we like to test with, anything like about 6 feet and shorter than 10 feet, but still not too bad. Um, and then there's no like adapters or any converters in between.
No, no, I was going
Okay.
straight into the switcher.
Okay. Is this a micro HDMI or full size HDMI or full size HDMI on both ends?
It's a micro on one end, micro on the camera, and
Okay.
and full size on the other.
Got it. What was the Canon model again?
T5i,
T5i. Pull up some specs.
and right now I'm shooting at 1920 1080 with 30 frames per second.
Yeah, which is supported. So sometimes when it's an unsupported camera, we maybe want to poke around with different frame rates, and one may handshake better with the other. But yeah, I see. I'm pulling up this camera model now. Yeah, it's the 700D
Um,
C5i Rebel. Yeah, let me go to the specs here. This is a mirrorless DSLR camera, which oftentimes these are from Canon RGB on the color out, which is not supported.
you said it's not supported.
Correct. Yeah, and I'm on there now, scrubbing through here. Let me see. Yeah, so it is in fact RGB. So so basically, yeah, the camera is outputting a color signal that the ATEM technically doesn't support. In the specifications, Blackmagic, they list YUV support, um, and they don't list RGB. So sometimes we've seen RGB pass on input 1 because it was designed differently from 2, 3, and 4. Um, so that could happen, but if not, again, the only adjustment with your current setup that you can apply to maybe try to reach a signal is changing the frame rates to see if maybe one frame rate handshakes better than the other, like 24 frames or 50, 60. Um, but otherwise, I mean, it would be a matter of like applying a converter into the workflow that would change that signal to YUV. Or I mean, of course, a matter of getting applying a camera that has a YUV output, which is what the ATEM expects.
YUB.
That's right. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm on the Canon website, and if you pull up this camera model, you'll see there in the color specifications they list RGB, and on the Blackmagic website for the A10 series, it is YUV specific. So
All right. All right. So I guess that'll be all the information I need.
alrighty, awesome. Feel free to reach back if you have any additional questions.
I do have an additional question. So when I pulled up
Sure.
the software controller,
Uh-huh.
in part two, there's like a media tab, right? So when I go to like
Uh-huh.
favorites to like start adding things, uh, it it was cutting off on me. Now it seems to be steady, but it seems like it just like kept cutting. Yeah. So there. So now
What do
when
we mean by cutting off?
like when you're on the program and then the program
Hmm.
completely like shuts down,
Oh, crashing.
yeah, crashing. So I have to like
Oh,
keep like
okay.
restarting it like over and like I literally just downloaded this software about 30 minutes ago,
Mm.
and I haven't even uploaded like one image into here, and every time I try to, it just keeps crashing.
Wow. Okay. This
So
is on a Mac or Windows computer.
Mac,
And what operating system do you have here?
uh, shit. Let me see.
I can guide you there if on the upper left hand corner you see that little Apple logo. Make that selection, and then you would see about this Mac.
Yeah. Um, the Mac OS. We are running the Sonoma 14.6.1.
Sonoma
Yeah.
1461. Okay. And then in regards to the A10 switcher software, what version did you install?
The one that says I think it released like yesterday, like Friday. Let me go back to it.
Friday, that would have been 9.6.
Let me go back
If you're
to
in the software, you can click on the drop down next to that Apple logo titled HM, and it should give you the about section as well.
Yep, eight 8.6.
9.6?
8.6.
Okay, so 8.6 is a much older version.
Because
You said 8.6, correct?
yeah, that's what it when it told me that was the newest one that was available, 9.6. Okay, let me download the Mac for 9.6. I did this already. I registered.
Yeah. You'll want to get yourself installed with 9.6 because 8.6 that was from back in 2022.
No, I downloaded that one first at 327 and installed it because that's how it gave me
I'm sorry.
the software.
Let's do this for some further confirmation because it could just be the software version. You can actually launch ATEM Setup. Excuse me there. ATEM Setup is the app that we want.
Yeah, that's the one with the ATEM in the middle, and then it says ATEM Mini, and then there's two buttons, one that looks like a calendar, and then one that looks like a person.
Yes. Don't click on any of those. Rather, up top next to that Apple logo, you should see ATEM Setup as a drop-down menu. Make that selection and then select About.
I do not see a drop-down menu at the top by ATEM setup.
What do you see next to your Apple logo, sir?
It just says
we just clicked on.
Yeah, it said okay. I see About ATEM Setup, Service.
There we go.
Hide ATM Setup, and Quit.
Well, we want About.
Okay, About. Okay, yeah. So it said it's running on version 9.6.
9.6. Got it. Yeah. So you are in fact on the latest software version there, and that should be fully compatible with Sonoma. If it's crashing though, that's a little strange. We don't have much diagnostics that we can apply there. I mean, for the most part, it's not the application itself. It's not like heavy software that requires like a lot of like computing power.
Yeah.
So the system that you're running here, is this like a newer Mac?
I've been having my Mac a while, but I use
an Intel Mac, or do you know if it's like an M1, M2,
M1
M series? It's an M1.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, any of the M series Macs for the most part are pretty powerful systems.
Mm-hmm.
That should be able to operate the software. So as a test, we would recommend installing a previous version. 9.5.1 was the version right before the 9.6 release, and it does list Sonoma support, and it did specifically address your switcher model.
Quick question: How do you
user interface? Yeah.
How do we push? How do we push the software? Because although in the About setup it says it's a 9.6, but when we actually click the software and the setup menu pops up, it's giving me the software version 8.6. So is that saying that it's having a conflict on the back end, or is it just not reading it?
Not at all. Let me clear that up there. So the software control has its own version number. So that version number is 8.6, but that is included with the driver.
Gotcha.
The driver is, of course, what contains the software. So the driver version is, in fact, 9.6, but there hasn't been an update to the ATEM software to then say take you to 8.7 or now up to 9.6. So the software, you are in fact on the latest there.
Okay.
But so this is where we're looking at not so much the software, but the driver. So this is where rather than 9.6, we would ask you to install the driver version 9.51
All
and
right.
see how that behaves. Because again, yeah, I mean, this isn't heavy software, so we don't really have, much diagnostics that we're able to apply here when we have crashing like behavior. So
All right. So I gotta uninstall
yeah.
this one, right?
Not required, but I would suggest that just given that, yeah, it's a little funky that it's crashing here. So yeah, getting that uninstalled and then you can download the 951 from the website and see how that applies.
Support ATEM switchers. And you said 9.51
That's right.
Mac.
Update 9.51 update.
Yeah,
Yeah, they list
download.
everything as an update, but it is in fact a full suite.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All
But
right.
of
So
course, yeah, go get that uninstalled, and before you move forward with this install here, and yeah, see how that responds for you.
okay, that is.